So next step, creating an HDA. There's a few different ways to go about it. What I like to do is just select everything at the top level. Then you would go asset, new digital asset from selection. And then you could give it a name, for example, CFX Capybara. And then it'll give you this subnet, CFX Capybara. So then after that's created, you could, for example, delete this. So everything is gone. And then if I just tab in here, CFX, we got CFX Capybara, which is the HDA you just created. So there he is. And then since everything is using your HIP directory that we have in our setup, you could just save it in a folder. So I'll just save this HIP file. And then you'd have some errors, for example, if you're importing different FBX. So if we go like in our cloth, this FBX import, we had to adjust this. So to change that, we could go back here, could go type properties. And then if you go to this extra files tab, you could include all the files that you need to be added. So I added, for example, the out_fbx._3.fbx. And then you'd go back to where you're using that. And before we had the old path, which was grabbing that FBX file, but you swap it out to something like this. Let's see, let me unlock this. So if you want to make changes after you created the HDA, you could right click, allow editing of contents. So now if we go in here, we could see everything. It's not grayed out. Go in your cloth, and then this, for example, FBX is going to be using a different name. It's using this open def : and then your path name. It's also listed here on the top, these OPDEF paths. So you just swap that, so it's not using our old FBX path. So I did that for there, did that for here. So that's if you're importing a cloth model, or if you're importing anything other than the Capybara asset, because that's already on the Houdini database. So that's your files. That's the first thing. And then so when you start, you're not going to have all of these options. You're just going to have transform and subnet. But I could go over this. So for example, the main thing is this launch and cook. So one way that you could do that is if you just go here, say, okay, so we want this dirty all, because basically this everything works by just using this top network. We just click dirty all, and then we click cook output node. So easy way to do that is you just left click this cook output node and just drag it straight here. And then boom, it'll get populated. And then cancel cook, you could also drag that to get added. So then if we go back, you can click apply. And then let's see where it ends up right now with that dragged in here. So if I click apply, getting some errors, click OK. So this cancel cook button is up here. So I got two cancel cook, and so you can see it says cancel cook, but we could change that to whatever you want. So we can say cancel all sims, for example. Click apply. Okay, so there we go. Cancel all sim. Oh, I forgot the S, but cancel all sim. So you could click that. That'll cancel everything. And then Or you could use some of these parameters by type. So for example, if you want message, so message is here. There's different ones. There's label, heading, message. You just drag it over. So right now it went on the bottom. And then we could say for more info on the sim rigs, check the documentation. Apply. And then on the bottom of our HDA, we're going to see this text. And then if you want to separate the different settings, for example, I use this one, this label. So just drag that over, and then you could say like CFX launcher, and it'll create that line. So let's see, drag that. So you see now we got 2 lines. And then, so these are some parameters that I already promoted and I changed the name. A quick way to do that is if you just dive in here, go for example on muscle setup, maybe muscle flex, went too far. Muscle flex, we want some control of the left bicep, for example, to manually be able to turn this on and off. So you just take that, left click it here, there we go, click apply. So then if we go back to our top level, we're going to see our left bicep. Then we could adjust that, and then you could rename that, or if actually we don't want people to animate it past 1, you could lock that at 0.5. And then if we go to the channels box, this is the value that's gonna start from the beginning. So for this, 0 is good, but maybe we want, let's start at 0.25. So 0.25, and it's gonna range from 0 to 0.5. So you can click apply. Okay. And there we go. So it's starting at, let's see, maybe it didn't pick that up. Apply. Accept. Okay, need to double check that, but we have our range here, 0 to 0.5. Then we could add some keyframes. Start at 5, frame 68, we want it to be 0. And then go back up. So maybe we know that that's what we want for our frame range, for example. And maybe we noticed that our bone stiffness was too tight. Maybe we'll lower that to 4. And then once we're happy with everything, maybe instead of 240 is a bit long. So, well, first let me bring up my folder here. So this is the directory that this head folder is saved under. Oh. Crash.